Y'all talk a big game, can't tell if y'all meant it. If seconds turns to minutes, the ticking will tell all. Will you hold firm or steadily fall? Will you conform with the ways of the world? Or will you give the world everything that you are? Make them fuckers move around you, kinda like sound do. Break out of everything that they had you bound to. You got knocked down, ho, get ready for round two. It's round two. Get ready for round two. Come back, run rap, run laps around these cats, jump back, kiss myself, still keeping me intact. Weird and black, they for that, hold up, steer it back. Weird and black, they revere that, yup, you hear that?
Turnstile, switch it up. Young nigga raised hard, you learn not to give a fuck. Young nigga came far, still never give enough. Coming with the flavor, delicious, so she lick it up. Bust down, stick it up, I put it down, so pick it up. Scud town, saviors, done some till you shift to musk. Stench so stank that the shit compare soft to us. Crud so dank, make your face smudge dripping, cuz club go shake when the bass get to hitting ya. They ain't really hearing us, but they gon' feel something when the way is paved clear enough. I don't fear nothing but the fate, is God really not? Well, fuck it, got the world in my hands, and that's real enough. Fuck it, got the world in my hands, gold forms to touch. Might just spend it all one time to give it all to us. Yeah, give it all to us.
Yeah. This that hip-hop body, rock, hardcore, karate, chop, neo-Nazi, nasty, not feel it in my chest. How could you wear that name? Must be automatic shame, he's an automatic lame, heard it from the best. Fresh flow, let's go, plus I got a lot of heart. It's necessary when you dabble in this art. Grab canvas, paint picture, use them acrylics, paint a picture so vivid, the people gotta feel it like the kava. Lyrics bear fruit like guava, words spilling out of my brain like lava. Spills out the top of a volcano, and they know that A-Right is not the one to play no. I'm Kano in Mortal Kombat, cause the lyrics like blades. Aim it at your jugular when I'm on stage. Until you heard me spit, homie, you ain't heard rage. On another chapter, so turn a turn. Okay, got that out my system. A-Right on another planet, dog, you must have missed them. When I do it, how I do it's of my own volition. Go make my destination even in the worst condition. My crew's the Blues Brothers, cause you know we on a mission. Eternity of roses I make bumping in your system. I mean, banging in it, I'm still hanging in it. I got a gang of wisdom, I got a gang of rhythms. I got a lot of soul, I found the pot of gold. I'm wrapping that shit up, gon' sell it to the globe. I got some game to give them, they don't really want, but they really need it. And I want you to succeed, I want you to be free. I want you to remove every obstacle from being what you truly wanna be. I truly wanna see, and I can only lead by example. So here's a sample from me, so get up.
They do a
Drinking beer, I'm drinking water.
2 touchdowns a game.
tripping. How you hide? No,
Super Bowl time.
I don't know what we're doing in the
Another retiree that's
Twiddling our
behind me
fucking
off
dick.
the mic.
Brian, I just need you to drink this. Wide receiver trivia. That's what she said.
Her.
Fuck.
Her upset.
Are those crutches?
You can see Ryan's crutches.
What is going on, folks? Welcome back to After Further Review. This is episode 163 of your favorite show on the internet. I am your co-host, Jalen Brown.
And I'm your other wonderful co-host, Malin Dennis.
And I'm your other great co-host, Nestor.
And I'm just the visiting angry old man, G Money.
G Money, thank you for coming on to the whole show this week. I can't just say the first half because with the holiday tomorrow, we've got a shorter show this week. So appreciate you, G Money, for coming on the whole show. Gentlemen, how are we doing this week?
Everything good in Sarasota?
Good to hear.
Yeah, Nestor's living in the land of Christmas trees.
I hope you guys know it's almost December.
Yeah, I know. If anybody knows, anybody knows of a good sap removal aid, if you want to drop that in the chat for Nestor. Yeah, no, man, we're doing good. We got one day till turkey leg when I'll probably eat 3 times the recommended calorie intake of what I'm supposed to tomorrow. Fun.
Yes, this is always one of my favorite episodes of the year. Is our Thanksgiving Eve episode. With that being said, though, let's start off the show how we normally do. Cheers to everybody.
Cheers.
That water, a little bitch.
I was gonna play it off, but nah.
Folks, you'll have to excuse any kind of lag or anything this week. As you can tell, I'm not in my normal setup, so things are a little just wonky, but you should be able to hear us just fine. If the video lags, it is what it is. But anyway, with that being said, if you are not aware, we do live stream the show every Wednesday night, whether there's a holiday the next day or not. 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time every single Wednesday on YouTube. So if you click the first link down in your description below, you will be taken to the YouTube version of this episode. That way you can just hit the like button first, make sure you like the episode, and then also hit subscribe. That way you'll be notified every single week when we go live right here on YouTube. So yeah, let's get into the first topic of the week. We are going to recap last week. A lot of big games last week that all kind of fell into the prime time slots. We're going to start off with the Monday night game between the Chiefs and the Eagles, where the Eagles got their Super Bowl revenge. 21-17 was the final score. And Nestor, we're going to kick off with you, my friend. Will these two teams be seeing each other again in the Super Bowl?
Unfortunately, this is the Super Bowl matchup that I predicted. And, if we're going to have teams that are supposed to get to the Super Bowl, that we're seeing teams like Baltimore or my very own Miami Dolphins, if they're going to choke when they need to win big games, then you're going to obviously have the more experienced team that has been there before and won it. You're going to see them have that experience take them over the finish line. So I think I would not be surprised to see Kansas City and Philly again in the Super Bowl just because of that fact. We saw it with my Miami Dolphins. Kansas City had no issues beating them because I don't know. It seems like they have more experience, and these teams, as explosive as their offense can be, sometimes in playoffs it's a whole different beast. So yeah, I would not be surprised at all. And if I had to guess, yeah, we're gonna see Kansas City and Philly in the final.
Okay. G Money.
I agree a lot with what Nestor says, but I wouldn't write Baltimore off. Their defense is solid, and I'm not sold on Kansas City's defense unless, as we have discussed ad nauseum in earlier episodes, without Kelsey, they really don't have anybody who can catch the ball, and that was evident in the Philadelphia game. I mean, it was, and when Kelsey had a couple of drops and a fumble, I mean, that was it. And they've got a decent running game. The defense is okay, but are they the favorites to go to the Super Bowl? I'm thinking Baltimore probably is. I like their defense. They're the number one rushing team now in the NFL, and even with Odell Beckham out as a wide receiver, and let's be honest, he didn't catch a whole lot. I mean, he wasn't like their number one wide receiver. I think I would be willing to put even money on Kansas City, Baltimore being the AFC representative in the Super Bowl. Philadelphia, probably. I mean, though the 49ers are playing well of late, and I think that they could give them a run for their money in the NFC Championship game, especially if it lands up getting played in San Francisco. Because, as we all know, last year Philly was on a roll, and then they lost inexplicably to the Commanders. I mean, they tend to get really full of themselves and lose to a team they should not even lose to. They should beat by double digits. So 8-1 now, yeah, that's nice. But I see a few losses on the horizon for them to teams they should not lose to.
Mainland.
At this point, saying that Patrick Mahomes is not a favorite to go to the Super Bowl is kind of like when people used to pick other people besides Tom Brady to go to the Super Bowl. Like, at some point, they just end up making you look foolish, right? But at this point, like, not if his receivers keep dropping fucking passes. I mean, you need to pull Taylor Swift off of her little international tour and get her ass back up to Arrowhead so that Travis Kelce isn't fumbling the goddamn ball in the red zone. Scantling, Jesus.
Man.
And I forget the wide receiver on fourth down that let it go right through his hands too. It's like, well, what's wrong with your hands? Like, you guys are out there looking like fucking Ricky Bobby. You don't know what to do with these goddamn things. Like, catch. But like right now, it looks like Baltimore's the best team. But the only problem is that Baltimore is right now like the fifth best team in the AFC that we've had this year. I mean, it's been the Chiefs a couple times, the Dolphins a couple times, and it was, the Ravens, and then the Ravens ended up getting blown out, and then they're like, well, maybe it's not going to be the Ravens, and then the Ravens beat the shit out of a couple other people, and namely my Seahawks. That was fun. So now all of a sudden, like, they look the best, but everyone's starting to deal with injuries. I mean, Mark Andrews at tight end with that ankle injury, I think that might have a possibility of looming there. But Nick Wright at FS1 has said for 3 years now that you should just name the AFC Championship game the Arrowhead Championship game, because it's been in Kansas City for the last 6 years, or at least 5 years. I think starting in 2018, it's been there every single year. The AFC Championship game has been. So to say that the Chiefs aren't going to get there, I mean, I think they'll definitely go into the AFC Championship game. When it comes to the Eagles, has there been a less impressive 9-1 team in the NFL that you can think of? like we're talking about the Eagles being like a great team, right? Because of what they did last year and going to the Super Bowl, and everybody it has this idea of Jalen Hurts being the Jalen Hurts from the Super Bowl. But Jalen Hurts from the Super Bowl wasn't even really Jalen Hurts from the regular season. Like he didn't ball out like that, like he did in the Super Bowl. If it wasn't for the tush push, man, if people weren't just pushing on his ass, they'd probably already have like 3 or 4 losses. They're just very inconsistent. And so they're definitely going to get in the playoffs. Obviously, they're 9-1. But if they play an inconsistent game in the playoffs, you're not just beating up on everybody in the playoffs. You're going to be playing good teams. In my opinion, and I hate to say it, I know they had a 3-game losing skid, but when they're healthy, this team is just running on all cylinders. It's hard for me to not say that the Niners are not the best team in the in the NFC right now, when they're healthy. If they keep if CMC and Deebo Samuel stay healthy, that offensive line stays good. Brandon Ayuk, Jesus Christ! Like when did he turn into a top 5 receiver in the NFL? And I say all those names, we haven't even gotten the George Kittle yet. So I mean, it's just the Niners are loaded. And they got one of the best offensive minds, and they've played outside of the weeks where they had injuries or like super bad weather. They have played the most consistent. Right now, Nestor's wife is about to tell him she's putting up another Christmas tree. But yeah, so I would say right now my favorites to go to the Super Bowl would probably be the Ravens and the Niners right now. But you can't count out Mahomes. He's going to make people look stupid for a lot of years.
Yeah, mainly I think you and I are on the same wavelength because Patrick Mahomes right now it's kind of feeling like the Tom Brady effect, where it's like he's gonna find his way in another AFC Championship game. Whether or not he gets to another Super Bowl is another question. For me, I do think the Chiefs are gonna get back to that Super Bowl because the drops are a big issue for them, without a doubt. I mean that those 2 drops on 3rd down and 4th down to end the game were just inexcusable. But the Chiefs being the Chiefs, I think that they will figure it out somehow. MVS, I don't know what they'll do to him, but they'll figure it out by hook or by crook, and they'll start catching more passes as the year progresses here. Because, Mahomes is going to do his thing. There's no questions there. So when it comes to the AFC Championship game, it would not surprise me at all if it's Baltimore and Kansas City. But Baltimore, they're really banged up, which is always the narrative with them, and this year's no exception. So as the year just keeps going on, I think injuries are gonna weigh them down, and Kansas City's gonna look better and better and better while they're just more beat up. In the NFC though, the Eagles, like you said, like this is the most unimpressive 9-1 team we've seen in a while, because they're just finding weird ways to win games. The Niners, it's kind of the same thing. The Niners are a better team, but I also think that they're going to get more beat up because they can't all rely on Brock Purdy. They need all that talent around them to be healthy, and I just can't see everybody staying healthy come, say, January. So I think the Eagles will outlast the Niners just with their health and end up in the NFC Championship game or end up in a Super Bowl. So with Nestor, I'm thinking that there's a very high chance that we see a rematch. Like that's what I could see right now. So,
have you ever seen the movie Full Metal Jacket?
Yes, great movie.
Okay, I kind of feel like Scantling is going to come into the locker room, and they're going to hold his ass down on a bench, and people are going to put some fucking soap in the sock and just beat the shit out of him, and then put super glue on his hands and gotta stop dropping. The only thing we can hope for with the Niners like getting injured is that we all know that Jamal Adams is made of glass, and the Niners play the Seahawks 2 times the next 3 weeks. So maybe when Brandon Ayuk and Kittle and Samuel run through his ass, they cut up their hands because he's made of glass and they break him. And so they're not going to be as healthy because of that. Because it's just a walking, sliding glass fucking door. Ridiculous.
I didn't know he
It's
was
sad
back
because
in
he
the
was never
lineup.
injured with the Jets.
Yeah, it was always healthy with the Jets. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's too
Bullshit.
all right, let's move on to the next game here, where we've got the Thursday night game between the Bengals and the Ravens. 34-20 was the final score. Joe Burrow went down, I forget at some point, I think in the first half, with the wrist or hand injury. And now he's out for the rest of the year, which was very sudden, but just like that, there goes Joe Burrow. Is the season over for the Bengals? Nestor, let's start with you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Even with Burrow,
Yeah. Cartagena, huh? That's a interesting vacation spot. G Money, is the season over for the Bengals? Hmm. Malin, give Cincinnati some hope. Come on. Jake. True. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Hmm. One, I will say, man, thank you for that little history update there. That we got a Cup rematch from 2019. Looking forward to that. He wins 4 games for the Cincinnati Bengals. He might have a starting job in like Atlanta come next year because that would be wild. So teams that might be looking for a starting quarterback, look out. Uh, but yeah, unfortunately, I think Cincinnati's season is over at this point. Uh, it's nice that Browning's got some weapons, but in that division, good luck. If he was in like the NFC South, I would say, hold your horses. That it's still the verdict is still out, but in that one, it's just not happening. Who would have ever thought though that in the AFC North we would just have Lamar and Kenny Pickett left as far as starting quarterbacks go in November? Like I would think come like January that would still be kind of wild, but at this point that's crazy. Ooh. Ooh. I love how he was so Cody Pickett. Canada, yeah. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, there was some on the Steelers. There was some crazy stat that was mentioned last week about how something along the lines of like their defense is outscored maybe their offense the last like several weeks. Something crazy. Like the only reason they're winning games is it's by far their defense. Um, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. I wish nothing but the best to Jake Browning. Jesus, it's crazy. Right, right. Yeah, Kenny Pickett is reminding me a lot of my very own Mac Jones right now. So, just putting that. Steelers fans hate to say it, but that's what it's looking like. Right. Skylar Pickett. I hope he does. I 100% hope he outplays him this last few weeks. All right, let's see the Sunday night game. Last game for the recap, with Denver beating Minnesota 21-20. I would be lying if I said that I watched this game. I only caught the highlights for this one. But anyway, Russellson leading his team to their fourth straight win. Nestor, are the Broncos legit threat in the AFC? G Money? Go ahead, Malin. Yeah. Flip a coin. Okay. I think their odds are a bit better than that. Yes. Yes. Yeah. They've got a shot. Yeah. They should. Right. They could play on Saturn for all that matters. Yep. Go and put that one in. Sure. Sure. Right. 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 Hey, okay. Jesus. Yes, I'm glad, even as bitter as you are, you're still objective. That is very admirable. Um, like G Money said, this was like the most Seattle Russell Wilson that we've seen since he's been in Denver. He looks very, very good from the highlights that I was watching. Um, and yeah, they're just finding ways to win games. Like the fact that they won four straight, one of which came against a flu Patrick Mahomes. Another one came from Josh Allen being Josh Allen. But Malin, I'm glad you ran us through that exercise of just saying things out loud, because when you say things out loud, it makes it more. You realize how stupid or realistic it really sounds. And in this case, the remaining schedule the Broncos have looks a hell of a lot better than the Bengals chances now. Looks a hell of a lot better than the Bills schedule. If you go look at them, they've got like Philly, they've got Kansas City, they've got Miami. Uh, so looking at upcoming schedules, Denver looks pretty good once you take into consideration their who was in the running for that last wild card spot. So I think they are a threat in the AFC playoff wise. Not title contenders, but definitely a threat as far as just getting into the postseason. And I will say this: if they do make it into the playoffs, they're not really a team I would want to see because of Russell Wilson's experience and because of Sean Payton's experience. If anybody's going to pull off just a dumb upset, it would be Denver. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Mm. On that note, let's go to let's go to a halftime break. When we come back, we are giving our in the world of sports what we are thankful for this year and giving games as far as betting picks goes. So we will be back in 10 minutes. All right, we're on break. He's been pouring up, huh? I assure you, it's not in Sarasota. Oh, really? Gotcha. Cool. Okay. Welcome back, folks. Coming back at you for the second half of your favorite show on the internet, where we are clear with our clothing demands. Folks, let's take a second half shot here as we open up the second half. I just got some Bacardi. Hello. What do you have there, Malin? Yeah, there was. I thought it was alright. There's a reason there was some left in the fridge, but no, not Sam Adams. I had one on draft at this pub in Ybor a long time ago, and that was the best one I had. I don't remember who it, so unfortunately. Um. Anyway, that's it for a podcast. Right. Right. Um. Anyway, different show for that. Let's move to the next topic of the week here. So, being that Thanksgiving is tomorrow, we usually do our annual tradition where we each will mention one thing that we are thankful for in the world of sports. So this could be a team specific play, anything in the last year or so that you are thankful for in the world of sports. Esther, we will kick off with you. What are you thinking? Oh, sorry, Malin has his hand up. Malin, you can go first. Oh, please do. Yes, thank you. Right. Right. Malin, we are. I just want to. Right. Amen. Amen. Nestor, go ahead. What the fuck? Hmm. Go ahead. Right. Right. G Money, go ahead. Right. It's crazy. what an interesting journey G Money took us on his thankful segment. Um, yeah, Thanksgiving is also my favorite holiday, just because it's like the one it's just super American, where it's like we're all forced to be thankful for one day, and then after that we go tear each other apart to get a good deal on a TV or whatever. It's just like as American as it gets. Um, but in the world of sports, what I'm thankful for this year is, without a shadow of a doubt, is the Boston Celtics being in the position that they're in this year, with the stacked roster that we have. The rest of the East is just looking like a big old joke to us right now. Really, the only team that can see us at this point in time are the Denver Nuggets, which we will be seeing in the NBA Finals in June. But everybody else is just they're all playing their own little game right now. But Derek White, Al Horford, all those boys, um, they are. Thank God for them, because I won't go. This is thankful. I'm not going to mention the New England Patriots and what they're doing right now. So I'm saying thank God for the Boston Celtics. Right. There you go. We gotta live. Right. Sure did. G Money. I'm I'm telling you right now, if we have a top five pick and we don't get a quarterback, I'm jumping off the Skyway Bridge. I'm just telling you guys right now. If something as asinine as that happens, you can say goodbye, because I'll lose my mind. It, you, G Money did this. I blame G Money. Right. All right, folks. Let's get to Ride or Die in 5. Thanksgiving edition, where most of these games will be tomorrow. Yeah, let me put records from last week here. There's that, and there is that. Okay, so last week, for those that are new to the show, this is where we give our 5 best betting predictions for this weekend in the NFL. And the over records after Nestor and I went 3-2 last week. Malin and G Money went 2-3. Malin is 206 wins, 148 losses. He's plus 58. I am 221 wins, 176 losses. I am plus 45. Nestor's 104 wins, 83 losses. He's plus 21. And then G Money is 125 wins, 110 losses. He is plus 15. So let's start off with the Thursday, or the first Thanksgiving game, 12:30, Green Bay. Yeah, go ahead. Okay. Usually it's the Bears at Detroit on Thanksgiving, but we'll switch up here. Still NFC North. So the Lions are 7.5-point favorites at home. Nestor, you can start us off here. What do you like? All right, real quick before G Money goes, I just want to mention that clearly forgot Aaron Jones was even in the NFL even when he got injured, so it didn't make any difference to me. But G Money, go ahead. Jeff Goff. All right, Malin. Personal reason. Okay, I am. Yes, just to put it shortly, yeah, I'm also taking the Lions to cover here. As bad as their defense has been, it's not really a matter against the Green Bay Pack. It's Jordan Love. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not playing Justin Herbert or Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. Somebody's gonna put a bunch of points. Um, right fields. It's Jordan Love, and like Malin said, he's only had a couple of bright spots this year. One of them he just used last week, so he's overdue for a stinker right now. It's a primetime game, Thanksgiving. It's going to be sort of foreign territory to him. Jared Goff, the Lions, they've played this game. Waking up and watching this game, it's not much going on. Give me the Lions to cover. right, that's a change. Uh, let's go. Let's go to the next game. The 4:30. This is like the game of the day. We have the Commanders going. Oh, you know what I mean. It's the Commanders going to Dallas. It's such a Commanders fans should feel absolutely disrespected by how this take is going so far. I mean, come on, put line at 17 points. Come on, man. I agree with that statement. Why I'm also going to take the Cowboys cover the 10.5. They were just god awful last week. Sam Howell threw 3 picks. Uh, Robinson led the team in receiving yards, and he's a running back. Like 70 some odd yards that he had in receiving passes. So uh, probably uh, they looked awful against an awful team last week, and at best they've looked okay all year. So against a very good football team, you got to remember the Cowboys. They are bullies. They just pick on people that are smaller than them. This is a prime opportunity for them. Big game, a lot of people watching. This is just what they do. So they're gonna eat the Commanders alive here. The Cowboys fans will be rah rah, go Cowboys. They'll be real happy. They're gonna have a great Thanksgiving. They'll have a great whole holiday season because they don't play anybody for the rest of the year. Yep, right. Nestor, go ahead. Tell us why Sam Howell can lead this team to a Thanksgiving victory. No, not at all. Next game, the Thanksgiving night game, we have the Niners game of the week, baby. We've got the Niners going to Seattle, where the 49ers are 7-point favorites. Malin, what do you like here? Mm, right. Yeah, I gotta agree. With the Niners being back to, pretty good health as of late, uh, and Gino not looking very good as of late, I'm gonna take the Niners to cover even on the road. Um, I wish Gino was playing better football than he has been lately, but he's kind of reverting back to the Geno Smith that we all have known over the years. And the Niners, like we said, when they are healthy, they look like the best team in the NFL. So on the road at home really doesn't matter. 7 points, yeah, I could definitely see them winning this game by a touchdown. And like you said, Malin, when you bring up the history of what the Seahawks have lost by to this very team in the past few years, doesn't look too hot for Seattle. So I'm going to take the Niners to cover 7 points on the road. Nestor, go ahead. not looking too hot. But like you said, if the Seahawks do win this game, we're back, baby. We're back. Yeah, next episode. Right, currently. Yeah, you gotta pay for that. Uh, Go ahead, Nestor. Okay. G Money, go ahead. Damn. Mm. Our Discord is gonna have to shut down our channel because I can already see where that's gonna go. Uh, all right, let's move on. Let's move on to the next one. We already have a couple of islands forming here. Let's go Friday. So we got the long-awaited Black Friday game that Amazon has been advertising the shit out of for the past fucking 90 days. It feels like. Uh, we've got the Dolphins. Yeah, true that. Tomorrow, or sorry, Friday at three o'clock. Dolphins at the Jets, where the Dolphins are a nice, handsome 9.5 point favorite on the road. Me going first here, I'm gonna take the Dolphins to cover on the road. I'm just gonna continue this trend of all of the favorite teams to cover. The Jets have moved on from Zach Wilson being the starter. I don't even know who their backup is at this point. Um, Not that it really matters in this game. I'm going to take the Dolphins to have a nice win on the road in the cool weather of New York. Tyreek Hill's going to have himself a great game. I don't give a damn about the New York Jets defense. Tyreek Hill's going to have a game. Uh, yeah, this will probably be another kind of sleeper on Friday afternoon. So go do your shopping, folks. Nestor. G Money. Hmm. Go ahead, Malin. Well, Tim. I love Malin's confidence. I will say that when G Money earlier mentioned that the Broncos have the same chances of hitting the lottery when it comes to the playoffs, this is one of those games where the Jets have the same chances of hitting the lottery with Tim Boyle winning this game. So that's that. Right. Somewhere along the line. Right. The last game, the Sunday night game, we got the Ravens going to SoFi Stadium. The Ravens are 3.5 point favorites. Nestor, we are back to you. What do you like here? Are you sure? Okay. Sure, Mark Andrews is out. Just throwing that out there. I believe. Yeah. Right. Hey man, we're continuing that train. If anybody is going to win this week, the Seahawks. I'll just real quick. Give me the Ravens to cover this one, man. If you saw the Chargers lose to the Packers this last Sunday, I feel like that should be all you need to see. Some blackmail on their ownership of the Chargers. That's the only reason he is still there right now, because him and Josh McDaniels should be out of the AFC West right now, out of the NFL right now. Yeah, the Chargers are just an absolute mess. I kind of feel bad for Justin Herbert and the rest of the talent they have on that offense, because they really do have a great team. But unfortunately, they're in the situation that they are in. But Baltimore, Mark Andrews or not, Odell Beckham or not, they'll be fine. Their defense will have Brandon Staley befuddled on Sunday night. He'll have no fucking idea what he's looking at. Lamar Jackson gonna cut up that defense, and they will easily cover 3.5 points. G Money, go ahead. Real quick, go ahead. Go ahead. Mm. Oof. Right, right, right. The math that G Money just ran, those returns are better than the S&P. Those returns are better than the Nasdaq. Those returns are better than Bitcoin. You can't get any better returns than this week's Ride or Die in 5, folks. I mean, come on. The last thing I wanted to mention, this won't count towards our records, but I just want to see where we're all at on this. We have Michigan and Ohio State this weekend, where I believe the line is 3.5 in favor of Michigan. Uh, what do you guys like here? Just put you on the spot. Right, they're in the cheater's house. I personally, I'm going to take Michigan to cover those 3.5. I'm just gonna throw it out real quick. Golly. For sure. I, Like, yeah. Mhm. Yeah, this is because we're not counting this as on our record. You know, if there's any game that I'm really hopeful for, like Ohio State, if they were to upset Michigan, that would be just fantastic. The whole thing is weird with the punishment. Like Jim Harbaugh's missing this game, and then he's gonna be missing sometime next year apparently. Like the whole thing is just fucking weird. I don't know. It's very college football politics involved in this one right now. So right, right. Like, it, come on. Like, what kind of shit? Well, uh, yeah, that will do it, folks. Should be an interesting Thanksgiving week here. Thanksgiving games are one, but natural game. We've got some very good games. We'll see. Besides that, anything else you guys want to before we wrap up?